Most people don't lose money in ETFs because they picked bad funds. They lose money because they made ETFs way more complicated than they ever needed to be. That sounds harsh, but I'm saying it as someone who did exactly that. When I first got into ETFs, I thought the goal was optimization, the perfect mix, the smartest allocation, the highest yield without too much risk. I watched dozens of videos, read endless threads, compared overlaps, tracked payouts, and kept tweaking my portfolio like it was some kind of machine that needed constant tuning. And on paper, everything looked impressive. I had exposure to multiple sectors, different strategies, different payout schedules, and different market styles, but in real life, my results didn't feel calm. They felt messy. I was always adjusting, always second guessing, always wondering if I should add one more ETF or remove another. That's when it finally clicked for me. ETFs are supposed to simplify investing, but I had turned them into something more complicated than picking individual stocks. And once I realized that, everything changed. The first big mistake I made was owning too many ETFs at the same time. I told myself it was diversification, but in reality it was confusion. I wasn't diversifying risk, I was diversifying responsibility. No single ETF had a clear job in my portfolio. Some were supposed to grow, some were supposed to pay income, some were defensive, and some were just there because I saw someone online mention them. The problem with owning too many ETFs is not just overlap, it's attention. When you own too many things, you stop understanding what actually drives your results. If your portfolio goes up, you don't know why. If it goes down, you don't know what to fix. And that leads to the second big mistake: constant switching. Every time one ETF underperformed for a short period, I questioned it. Every time another ETF had a better payout or better momentum, I felt tempted to rotate. I wasn't investing anymore. I was reacting. And ETFs are not designed for that kind of behavior. They're designed to work over time, quietly, without needing you to interfere every week. Another mistake I made was mixing income and growth without purpose. I thought balance meant owning a little bit of everything. Growth ETFs, dividend ETFs, income-focused strategies, defensive funds all in one basket. But balance without intention is just noise. What I didn't understand back then was that income and growth solve different problems. Growth builds the engine. Income taps into the engine. If you try to tap into something that hasn't been built yet, you end up stressing the entire system. That's exactly what happened to me. I wanted income first, stability later. And that order matters more than most people realize. This is where I went wrong, and I know a lot of people watching this are probably in the same place I was. You're not doing anything crazy. You're just trying to be smart. But smart investing doesn't feel busy. It feels boring. The turning point for me wasn't finding a better ETF. It was changing how I thought about structure. Instead of asking which ETF is better, I started asking what role each ETF plays. And once I did that, I realized I didn't need more ETFs. I needed fewer, with clearer jobs. That's when I started building a core. Not a trendy ETF, not an exciting one. Just a core that represents the market, compounds over time, and doesn't depend on constant decisions. Once I had that in place, everything else became optional instead of necessary. This is what finally worked for me. I stopped trying to make every ETF do everything. I let the core focus on long-term growth. I let income-focused ETFs do what they're meant to do without expecting them to carry the entire portfolio. And most importantly, I stopped changing things just because something else looked better for a short period. Now, about 1 or 2 minutes into my journey, I did experiment with higher income strategies, including weekly pay ETFs. And to be clear, that experience taught me a lot. Not because it failed, but because it exposed how important structure really is. Those strategies showed me how powerful cash flow can feel. Seeing income arrive regularly is motivating. It keeps you engaged, it makes investing feel real. But it also made something else very obvious. Income feels great, but it doesn't replace a foundation. What I realized after experimenting with those strategies was simple. If your portfolio doesn't have a strong core underneath, income becomes the focus by default. And when income becomes the focus too early, every decision starts revolving around payouts instead of progress. That's not wrong, it's just incomplete. Once I stepped back and simplified my portfolio using one broad market ETF like VOO or VTI and one income-focused ETF like SCHD, it became easier to manage, easier to understand, and honestly, easier to stick with. I wasn't checking it every day anymore. I wasn't comparing myself to every new ETF launch. I wasn't worried about missing out because my strategy wasn't built around chasing. This is where most investors overcomplicate things. They think complexity equals sophistication. But in reality, complexity often hides weak conviction. When you're confident in your structure, you don't need to keep adjusting it. Here's the mindset shift that made the biggest difference for me. Instead of asking how many ETFs I should own, I asked how few I could own while still covering my goals. That one question eliminates most of the noise instantly. You don't need an ETF for every scenario. You don't need to react to every market move. And you definitely don't need to rebuild your portfolio every year. Markets reward consistency more than cleverness. Another mistake I see all the time is people chasing payouts before building a core. I understand why. Income feels tangible. Growth feels abstract. But over long periods of time, growth gives you options. Income just gives you cash. And cash without growth eventually limits flexibility. Once I flipped that order in my own portfolio, things became calmer. Income became a tool, not a dependency. Growth became the anchor, not the afterthought. And that balance made everything simpler. The funny part is, my returns didn't suddenly explode. My portfolio didn't become magical overnight. What changed was my behavior. I stopped overreacting. I stopped tinkering. I stopped making emotional decisions based on short-term performance. And that's where most ETF investors actually lose money. Not in the fund selection, but in the behavior between selections. ETFs work best when you let them work. The more you interfere, the more you dilute their purpose. Simplicity isn't laziness, it's discipline. Today, my approach is straightforward. I keep a clear core that I don't touch. I layer income strategies around it with intention, and I accept that no ETF will outperform all the time. That acceptance alone removes a huge amount of stress. If you're watching this and feeling overwhelmed by your portfolio, that's not a sign you're bad at investing. It's a sign you might be doing too much. You don't need to know everything, you just need a structure you can stick with. Most investors don't need better ETFs. They need fewer decisions. And if you're trying to build something that lasts 10 or 20 years, this is the approach that makes everything simpler. Not exciting, not flashy, just sustainable. That's how I stopped overcomplicating ETFs, and that's what finally allowed my portfolio to work for me instead of the other way around. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Money Stick Unfiltered, and I'll see you in the next one.